What do I do?
Yeah.
I am a CEO of a biotech company. I sit on the boards of 4 other biotech companies. So I spend most of my time working with those companies, trying to sort out their business prospects and strategy and direction, and then just more mundane operational aspects of running those businesses. Hiring lab workers, working on budgets, raising money, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you oversee a lot.
I do, yeah. And I do most of that from here, actually, just my office at home, but I travel a lot as well, so I have to go visit companies. I have to travel a lot because my companies are in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Houston, Texas, and San Diego, and St. Louis. Well, I started out in this industry, in the biotech industry, as a scientist, right out of my doctorate program.
Yeah.
Actually, going back up, I started out when I was an undergraduate at university, and then I graduated, worked for a couple of years, then I went and got my PhD, so I continued to work. I got formally involved in biotech after I finished my PhD as a scientist, and then I just worked my way up through the ranks, senior scientist, director of research, chief scientific officer, and then CEO.
All right.
There's a few other things somewhere in there, but that's about as far as you can go. But actually, I've gotten more involved in the investment side. So I also work with venture capital firm to find new technologies and invest in them. I work mostly with scientists, so mostly PhD level scientists, some baccalaureate level scientists. So I have the opportunity to interact with people from all around the world, because these scientists tend to be from many different countries, which is sort of fun. In running a biotech company, you are interacting quite a lot with lawyers, so patent lawyers and also corporate lawyers. Most of the people I interact with are scientists. I interact with professors at universities. I interact with other entrepreneurs, lawyers I mentioned, and the other key thing, of course, are the funding entities, so venture capitalists, and some government entities that also provide funding for startup companies. On the one hand, I might not have done too many things differently because all the experiences have been quite helpful. Yeah. But I might have gotten involved in the business and investment side sooner. I think it's probably the most interesting thing for me. The most interesting thing a person could do. And the mixture of business and science is absolutely fascinating. Yeah. And finally, this is the golden age. So this is like being a physicist back in the 20s, perhaps, or something. This is the golden age of biomedicine, and I just find myself right in the middle of it. I do. It's nice to be able to have the flexibility to work from home part of the time. The flip side of that is I spend a lot of time sitting on airplanes, which isn't terrible. I actually like traveling, but it gets a little bit, well, not so much for me, but for my partner. She doesn't care so much for my travel schedule. So, but I don't mind it. Like everything else, I mean, everybody in this industry works very hard, so that applies to most things. So everything's fun for about 6 or 7 hours a day, and then the next however many hours. Yeah, I've been to all over the world doing this. So it's truly, all these industries are global now. So I've been to Asia, been to Europe innumerable times, all over the United States. And you get to meet very interesting people. Because everybody really likes what they're doing for the most part. So that makes for interesting times. So I was really interested in biology in high school. That was a key starting point. Actually, probably interested even before that. When I was a kid, I was really interested in natural biology. I went to University of California, San Diego, got a degree. My bachelor's degree is in biology, with a focus on, well, actually, it's pretty general. tell you the truth. I mean, UCSD is sort of known for molecular, it was the hotbed of molecular biology and cell biology, so I suppose that was a little bit of a focus. A good part of my education, the key part, was actually at university. I went and worked in laboratories, which was almost as valuable as the coursework. I mean, really key and also super essential for getting a job. So as soon as I graduated, I got a job working in a laboratory in the university hospital. Did research for a couple of years and decided I wanted to continue. So I went back to graduate school at UC San Diego and got a PhD in molecular pathology, which was essentially just molecular medicine, mechanisms of human disease. And then I was a postdoc at the University of North Carolina after that. So I did two short postdocs in internal medicine and in the cancer center there. And I was they picked one person to be the cancer center fellow every 2 years. So I was the cancer center fellow at the NCI designated cancer center at the University of North Carolina. And then I went straight from there to the first biotech company, Signal Pharmaceuticals. Then went to Celgene Pharmaceuticals, then went to Odyssey Thera.
Wow.
I was kind of thinking about medical school, to tell you the truth. And I did actually, by the way, I went to medical school in the middle and I left that part out. So I kind of thought I wanted to practice medicine, and it just, after a time in medical school, I decided I actually liked medicine quite a lot. I didn't like the students, so as much as I didn't dislike them. I didn't like them as much as the graduate students who were really super keen on what they were doing, and the medical students seemed a little bit more mercenary and just interested in. They would say, like, is this going to be on the test? And the graduate students were like, how can I learn more about this? So I decided to cast my lot with the scientists, and no regrets.
Nice.
Early on, though, and this is how it goes, early on I had regrets. I was thinking, oh man, I really blew it. I should have gone to medical school because I could have been making a lot more money and life would have been better. But as time went on, I found that wasn't probably true.
Great.
So.
Yeah, was that like during the time when it was kind of the like hot thing to be in medical school?
Yeah, and doctors were making a lot of money in the 80s, and it was really super, super competitive to get into medical school. It's not like that now. I don't think it's easy, but it's nowhere near, like the early 80s was the peak. Yeah, it's all about teams. So you have to have people who can work independently, but you also you have to work together, because you can't possibly these days. It's so complex what we're doing, just on the science side, and then if you mix in the business, forget about it. So you can't possibly know all that stuff. So it's all about putting together teams of people that really have to work together and trust each other, and frankly, hopefully have fun. Because when you spend a lot of hours doing this, so if you're not having fun, that would really be kind of a waste of time. So collaboration is critical. It's almost everything.
Yeah.
And finding the right people. If you're running a company or running a laboratory or whatever, it's all about finding the right people.